The main adjustments, like I said, that was the next question people had that you would be making on spinning, would be either your, I hear it called gears or ratios kind of interchangeably. So we're going to say gears and ratios, which, like I said, you'll see in this video on the polywog, most things, I'm assuming they're all on the back of the flyer head, are where you can change the basically where the band goes on the back of the flyer head. There's different sized kind of circles on the flyer head that basically give you more or less spin per push of your foot. So let's think about that for a second. Gears and ratios are settings. They are settings you're changing in the case of Spinolution wheels with the band on the back of the flyer head to change how many times the flyer head rotates per pedal push. So for every time the big wheel, the big spinning wheel part goes around, depending on what gear or ratio your flyer head is set on, it could be, and I'm literally just making up numbers right now, so don't write this down. So it could either be like for every one time the big wheel goes around, the little wheel goes 3 times. Or it could be, depending on how you set it, for every one time the big wheel goes around, the little wheel, the flyer head goes around 6 times maybe. Or maybe even more. So in my simple mind of let's just using 3s and 6s because I can handle that, if for every push of the pedal and every rotation of the big wheel, the flyer head only goes 3 times around, that's going to be less twist per push. So less spinning, less twist per push going into your fiber for every time the big wheel goes around. But if we're double that on like 6, and like I said, I'm just making these numbers up, that's going to be twice as much twist going into your fiber supply as for every time the big wheel goes around. So it's basically controlling the connection between how fast your feet are going, how fast the big wheel is going, and how much twist is getting put into your fiber supply by adjusting the gears. So that's a complicated way of saying the bigger the gear, the less the turns, or the slower the turns are going to be. The smaller the gear, the faster the turns, and the more turns you're going to get. More faster turns and twist are going to equal twistier fiber. So if you're spinning and your singles are very twisty like a little pigtail, it means you're getting too much twist per rotation. So, and there will be a video I'm going to link on that with more troubleshooting, so just bear with me. If you're spinning and you feel like you're like, I'm drafting and it's pulling apart and it's pulling apart and it's not going into the wheel, what is happening? Why is it not turning into yarn fast enough? That means you don't have, maybe your feet are too slow and the flyer head's too slow. That means there's not enough twist getting in there. So for your own personal treadle speed versus hands versus brain, that's where you have to not go crazy. You have to just get some fiber you don't care too much about, and then just try spinning kind of, okay, this is how I do on a faster gear. This is how I do on a slower gear. And then you're going to find that sweet spot in there. So that's your main thing that you're going to be adjusting as far as adjusting take up and tension. The second is tension. So I just said the word, so I blew my own cover there. The second is tension, and this is once again going to be different on different types of wheels. Like I said, on the Lewitt, I know there was a leather strap that went over kind of the orifice, and that's what you adjusted to adjust the tension. And on Spinolutions, there's the block I was telling you about with the felt. That's how you adjust the tension, and the tension works together with the gears, so that's why there's kind of like an up and a down, and you're trying to find like your personal sweet spot there. When I talk about tension on a spinning wheel, the less tension you have on it, the less hard the wheel is going to take the fiber from you. The higher the tension, the more the wheel is going to be like kind of pulling the fiber away from you. So I personally, I like a little bit of a stronger tension, but I also spin more worsted to bulky is what I like to spin. I know people who love spinning lace weight yarns and really fine yarns, they want like not hardly any tension, like basically no tension. And that's where different wheel models can be more or less beneficial to you. And like I said, if you would like more information on, I really want to spin lace weight, what would my like dream wheel be, or I really want to do art yarn, where should I look at that, I'm happy to address those questions to you. Feel free to email me, Erin@feralscene.com, or message me wherever, and we can have that conversation